welcome back to the Pot of Thrones continuing coverage of San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
So we are trying to finish up our coverage here. We've got a few things left, and one of the ones on our list was a panel that wasn't exactly on our list, but it preceded the 2 Walking Dead panels. Now, this was something I would have been happy to see, but I didn't know if you were going to dig it. It was a panel of a 10th anniversary reunion panel for Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along blog. You had no idea what that was.
I didn't. I had never even heard of this.
But
I guess I'm not a big enough nerd.
No, definitely not. Or, well, you weren't a big enough nerd when Dr. Horrible was a thing, but we didn't know each other then. So I can only do so much.
That was 10 years ago. That was, right? 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
I was having babies. And
you were having Gage, who he will be talking to on a coming review here for Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I skipped that.
It was during a writer's strike, or after, maybe somewhere in the aftermath of the Hollywood writer's strike that happened 10 or 11 years ago. And Joss Whedon, creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Firefly, and writer and director of many other awesome things, he just had this idea we wanted to work on, and so he did it on the cheap with people that just needed something to do, killed the time, and it was a big hit, big hit amongst the nerd community, though many of you normies out there probably haven't heard of it either. So what you need to do...
Are you kidding me? There are no normies listening to this show.
What you need to do, I want to say the website's drhorrible.com, but I'll look it up for sure and I'll put it in the show notes. If you Google Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along blog, you will find it. That's not a problem. And it's available for purchase for just a few bucks on iTunes and Amazon. And I think you can still order a DVD of it. So there's many options to get your hands on Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along blog. But this panel was still pretty cool, even though you didn't know what it was, right?
Amazing. Because I knew who all the people were that were there. So for them to come together all at once was amazing for me.
So when you think Joss
I had no
Whedon,
idea they were going to be there.
Oh,
I didn't
tell
look
you much in advance.
No.
Huh? So when you think Joss Whedon, what do you think of? Buffy or something else?
Firefly.
That's
the first thing I think of.
And that was something that you and I really enjoyed together. Did I introduce you to that, or
yes,
you wanted to watch it anyway? Okay.
You made me watch it. Who else was there? Felicia Day.
Right. And you know her from?
Well, as of late, Mystery Science Theater 3000, is it now?
Yeah. The Return. Yeah, so she's in that. She was in Buffy briefly in the last 2 seasons, maybe. And she does lots of other little things here and there, but she came to internet prominence with a show she made herself called The Guild, which was about a bunch of World of Warcraft players, but their actual lives outside of the game and with each other. And she's just sort of the queen of the nerds. So much so that she's in that board game, a card game we have, Smash Up.
Yes.
In the nerd deck. Faction of nerds, she is one of the most powerful cards. Her and Will Wheaton.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's the king of the nerds, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And together they started up Geek and Sundry. That is their website, which is just a website full of awesome nerd news every day. Nerd. That's all they do. And then finally, Nathan Fillion. I can't believe you're just overwhelmed by his good looks. You can't remember his name, right?
Yes.
How was he in person? We were up pretty close.
He was so funny. He was great. Oh, you mean how did he look?
Well,
he looked better in person than he does on TV.
We had your son in between us, but I assumed you were swooning the whole time.
I was not swooning.
No?
I don't swoon.
I'm sure you don't. Everyone swoons for Nathan Fillion. Even I probably would.
I didn't. I found him. I don't like people for looks.
That explains a lot.
I found him very funny, charming.
He's great. He's hilarious.
He plays his character well, even in real life.
His persona.
Yes, he makes fun of himself. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. So these guys talked about a bunch of stuff. Some of it was Dr. Horrible. Some of it was questions about other things and current projects. And it was just a really good time, even if you haven't seen Dr. Horrible, right?
Yes, of course. They talked about so much that wasn't just Dr. Horrible. You know, it was, if you didn't know about Dr. Horrible, great, go find out because it's hilarious.
And it was kind of off my radar. I knew it was out there, but I haven't seen it in enough years where you've never seen it. So a lot of years. And we now have gone and rewatched it recently. What did you think of it?
I love it. Yeah. I've watched it twice already.
Just the last couple days.
And I'll go watch it again. It is so good.
It really is.
It's funny.
It's about 45 minutes, so it's sort of a short film again. And
it's something
musical.
Great to watch that you need shorter than a movie, but it will be so fulfilling.
There's just a little bit of inappropriateness involving Nathan Fillion's character referring to his penis.
Yes.
But apart from that,
we let our kids watch it, and it was okay.
Yep,
they're okay.
It's still good fun. Yeah,
nobody was like, "What's a penis?" Because they know what penises are.
Not like the Kevin Smith heart attack story, which is whew. It's just penis all the time.
Well, it's really dick and pussy and
yeah, that's Kev for you. So this was a great panel. Really enjoyed it, and I think you'll enjoy it too.
Much. Welcome to Friday, everybody. I don't know about you, but I feel like it's already like Saturday or Sunday. But I will let you know all of this, these sleepless nights and days that you guys have been going through. Hopefully we are going to have programming in here that will make it worthwhile for you. And actually, I'm pretty sure we will. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance, but there is some great stuff all day today. So if you feel like, now that you've camped outside, if you want to camp in here, feel free and just enjoy. And I think we're starting off with something pretty special. How many of you are very familiar with what's coming up? I'll give you a hint. The people who are going to be doing this panel are here. So how familiar are you guys with what's coming up? So Dr. Horrible's 10th anniversary, we're very excited to have this here. That's one of the things that we love about Hall H is we can not only dedicate it to the great films and television things that are happening, but to the great things of pop culture and to our fandom. So with that, it is my pleasure to bring out from Dark Horse, Dustin, who's going to kick off the Dr. Horrible reunion panel.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out for this. This is amazing. So 10 years ago, a little web series called Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Vlog broke the internet, long before Kim Kardashian. And it's been a testament to the power of web-created content that you are all here today and filling this enormous hall. So I know that you are not here to see me, so I want to just bring a nice, warm Hall H Comic-Con welcome to our panelist, which is the man himself, Mr. Joss Whedon. Not a little too tight for you? We can move you down. I think you can do whatever you want, really. Let's also bring let's also bring Felicia Day, aka Penny, on the stage. And the superhero Captain Hammer himself, Nathan Fillion. All right, let's give these guys another hand and let these nerds get to nerding.
We gotta space it out. I don't know what you had for dinner last night.
The years have changed you. You used to sit beside me.
Okay, fine. You can sit beside.
Too late.
My water needs to sit right. No, come on. Okay. This is a very high-class water here.
It's Life Water. Brought to you by Life. Hi, guys. I have forgotten more about Dr. Horrible than you'll ever know.
We are here to learn.
I mean, funny anecdotes, different different things for craft service. Remember that time I went to the Korean bakery next door and I bought all these things that were gummy that no one recognized and everyone had the poops that night? Remember that?
Is this your first time mentioning pooping in public?
I'm sorry. You should probably lead this.
No, I don't think that's the case. But maybe Nathan should lead this?
Maybe.
No, you're doing great.
I know
Great,
just.
I got it out of the way, Josh.
All right. I don't have anything huge, but I do want to say one thing before we start, which is that I just recently had the extraordinary pleasure of revisiting something and writing a Dr. Horrible one-shot comic that is going to come out on November 14th. It's called Dr. Horrible, Best Friends Forever.
Aww.
It's about Dr. Horrible and his best friend, Captain Hammer.
It sounds like a children's book that might end in murder.
All the good children's books do.
A lot of them start with murder, actually.
It's true. A lot of them are like orphan stories. You know, like, my name's Timmy and my parents just disappeared. Oh, well, let's go on an adventure. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be an orphan because it sounded really cool.
Well, there's no bedtime.
No bedtime at all. When you're an orphan and you can eat like whatever you want, like hot Cheetos or whatever, Cheez-Its.
Or those Korean gummies that you love so much.
I was trying to treat everybody. It was the wrong kind of treat. I just wanted to go in to see what was in there because I'm not kidding, guys. The front of the store was all glass, but it was blacked out. So I was like, we shut the laundry, and I opened the door, and I was like, what's in there, you guys? We were across the street, and I was like, I'm going in, and I didn't know I was going to come out. And I came out with gummies. Poopy gummies.
That was across the street from the laundromat, you say?
Yes, across the street from the
What scene were we filming that day?
We were filming the scene where we opened and closed the washers, which, remember, that was your favorite scene.
Yes, my favorite extra.
Yeah, your head. The extra who taught us how to do the Superman, but then couldn't close a door properly.
No, it wasn't that his door skills were bad, it's that he was singing the words.
Oh.
And we were like, don't sing the words. He was like, no, I'm supposed to. I got this. Really? No. It's a great moment.
Kids.
Oh, internet.
Is there some kind of microphone out there with people waiting to ask questions? Is that happening right now?
Yeah, we're going to do some questions, you guys.
Oh, yeah, that was, the whole point of this. What are we?
Over here.
We don't know. We do want to hear from you guys.
Oh, it's Button Lady.
Hi, Felicia.
Hey.
You're all doing such fantastic projects right now, so you guys can talk about that too. But my question is for Joss. Hi, Joss.
This guy.
Did you ever have to explain to Chris Hemsworth what his hammer was really a metaphor for?
Do tell.
Oh, no. It's very... Chris Hemsworth knows what the hammer is a metaphor. He knows everything is a metaphor for his penis. He's Chris fucking Hemsworth.
It's dreamy.
He's at a buffet, chicken wings, metaphor. Crudité, metaphor.
Hi, everyone. For Nathan Fillion, my question is, what do you believe influences the eccentric persona that you bring to all your roles, such as Captain Hammer?
I believe I have a very difficult time making people laugh. I find it very hard to make people laugh. I find it super easy to allow people to laugh at you. So the vanity, the think you're smart but you're actually not, it's like a gold mine. So everything kind of starts right there.
I got a message from Nathan one time. When we were doing press for Serenity, I guess. We just say the names of things. And we had similar outfits on. We were both wearing t-shirts and jeans. And I was like, oh, wait, I'm like your sidekick. It's like Muscle Man and Brain Boy. And
I remember that.
Rose, and you're all, and I'm all. And then months later, I just get a message on my phone back when you used to get messages on your phone. That just said, Muscle Man to Brain Boy, Muscle Man to Brain Boy, this is in trouble. We've got to stop it. With your brains and my not so brains, we can save the day. I kept it for like 3 months.
I remember that.
You have mastered the art of being an idiot.
Thanks.
Before we are going to show about just one second about your new show, Mr. Rookie Giant.
Did you see him on the building over there, guys? His head is so big.
And he's on a building.
Yeah. You might notice that my haircut is a little different than in the poster. That's because I was planning on cutting my hair short. I really was, and I just wasn't quite ready to go all the way. And I'm fond of saying I've got 3 things going for me, and 2 of them are my hair. So it had to be a gradual experience. I apologize for the continuity ahead of time.
Why don't you should Instagram a picture of you, the evolution of your hair.
Why don't you, Felicia? Oh, actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's really good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just a question.
Hey, Joss, is it true that you directed the Avengers? Because I want to congratulate you on that.
Yes, it is.
My question is, will there be a Doctor Who and Dr. Horrible crossover?
There will now.
Ordered it up. Did anything in Dr. Horrible allow you to prepare for event? Like it was a superhero thing, and did you funnel anything from Dr. Horrible into the Avengers?
Every Marvel movie is basically a Dr. Horrible ripoff, and that's fine. The only thing about it's the same is everybody's schedule is terrible. You don't have enough time to do anything. So very, very low budget and very, very high budget films are just AD nightmares.
Wow.
That's the one thing they definitely have in common. The food is also still bad.
What?
Yes, it's always bad.
I would have thought they'd just be prancing around with sushi platters all day on a fancy movie like that.
We got Spam with a little piece of pineapple on it brought around. That happened. I have suffered for my art, okay?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think you also had shawarma.
Was that just as an excuse to get shawarma on the set? You're like, you know what? I want to do that thing with the shawarma. Make sure there's enough for everybody.
No, I would never think of other people like that. Actually, no, because that was a real place. And we didn't do it during filming. We did it during the press tour.
Oh, really?
Because I made a joke to Kevin Feige about, hey, you should just see them eating shawarma. And they're like, they're too tired to speak. And they just hold on it for 30 seconds. That would be hilarious. And then Kevin's like, I think we can do it. Like months later, I think we can do it. I'm like, do what? We did the shawarma thing. I'm like, what? So we got them all. Yeah, we got them all.
Oh, I'm glad.
They found the one closest to the hotel where they were doing press, and also living in the costume, put a fake jaw over Chris Evans' beard, which is why he sits like this.
Are you kidding? Oh my God.
And I shot them eating shawarma for like a minute and a half, and then it didn't come out in Europe. The overseas, they didn't have this. Those had already left.
Oh.
So it was only in this country. And we sat on a truck on the back of a flatbed and we watched it. We're like, okay, start here. Okay, stop here. edited right there on the truck and then set it off. That was it.
Wow.
Well, that's kind of Dr. Horribly.
It is. It was very Dr. Horrible. Get in, get out.
Yeah, and we had to cover up Nathan's face because his jaw was so strong, it like pierced the camera during Dr. It's just so cracky.
It's true. We reconstructed his entire upper lip, which always goes really well.
If I fell against him, I'd lose a cheekbone. He's so cut right.
Did anybody notice the Dr. Horrible and Penny sitting in the front row?
Where?
Right there, right there.
Oh, can you stand up? Oh, she doesn't even have shrapnel in her. Turn around and see. That's pretty great. Where's your Captain Hammer? Oh,
Nice. Captain Hammer.
He's so cute and he's so punchable.
Okay, sit down.
So my question's for Josh. First, I want to say my sister and I grew up next door to you, lived in the Palisades on Michael Lane. And,
thanks for doxing him.
And what inspired you to write Dr. Horrible as an anti-hero of the story and Captain Hammer as a vapid hero?
Vapid means good looking, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. You're the grand vapids. At first it was just like it was going to be just an audio thing, and which I didn't know what you would call at that point. But and it was like a diary almost. It was just like going to be the diary of this lonely guy, and then I was like, well, lonely guy or villain guy. I feel like the villain is you know, if a piece is any good, the villain's got to be somebody that you identify with and you understand. And I feel like a lot of us relate to the villains in a way that we can't relate to the heroes because I don't know. I always feel like the story's definitely not about me. The story's about somebody else, but I'm in it. And sometimes I don't get it, and I don't like it, I don't want to be in it, and I want to destroy Metropolis. So that's just, I think, actually a real human emotion, and I think there's a way to relate to a villain as someone who, even if he makes it, will always be misunderstood, or his best intentions will go wrong. And so I just felt like that's somebody I can relate to more. I have trouble with square-jawed heroes, which is why Angel was the hardest show I ever did, because I was like, I don't know how to deal with this guy. Like, he walks in the room, you know what's going to happen. He's going to win.
You know, I once played a villain on a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's my first villain and only villain I've ever played. Thank you very much for that. And I asked Josh, I said, so what do I do? And he said, well, the villain, he doesn't think he's the bad guy. He thinks he's the good guy. God. I think that's true. I think that's true in a good villain. They think they're doing the right thing.
I mean, I think Billy's heart is in the right place, but he does allow a little bit of his toxic masculinity to get in the way of realizing what he actually could be doing.
What about me? Did you see a light on my face like it is here, making me look so pale that I'm transparent, and we're like, I should kill that chick?
Yes, that was the inspiration.
Because they can see through me.
You are very light.
I'm not here. Next question.
First of all, my whole family loves Dr. Horrible, and I was thrilled when my kids were finally old enough to be able to watch the show. But my question for all of you is, what new things, other than The Rookie, are you excited about coming out? Or conversely, what are you sad to see go?
Can you talk about The Rookie?
I play the oldest rookie on the LAPD. I'm like my age with a bunch of 20-something-year-olds. We're all starting the job together.
I'm excited about that show.
Hilarity ensues.
Really good.
And drama. I'm actually excited also about The Rookie. I did a nice little turn up with because we were Neil Patrick Harris on a series of unfortunate events. We had a lot of fun. Nice to look at him again. And
Neil wanted to be here today, but he hates you.
That's what he texted.
Yeah.
And I also did a little fan film for the video game Uncharted.
Yeah.
That was pretty jazzed about. It was fun.
I'm excited about nothing. I mean, my baby. Maybe toilet training her. That would be exciting for me.
She's cute.
She is pretty cute.
No.
You're on the private Instagram.
No.
There's a private Instagram, you guys. She's made it. I'm excited about the new Doctor Who because she looks pretty great. I saw pictures from her and things. What was the other part of the question? Because
Sorry to see something go.
Boy.
It's ended. Our friendship.
What gets canceled? Everything gets canceled so fast. I don't even remember.
I know. I cannot think of a single show because there's an ocean of them.
Yeah, I never finish anything.
I know.
It's really bad. You go, and then I'll maybe think about it.
I don't know. I just said that I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I have to try.
Well, somebody screamed something. What was it?
Oh, I'm excited about The Nevers. Please, I think The Nevers is by HBO's, really it's their flagship show, in my mind. I am actually super excited about it. It's been too long since I got to take a long time telling a story, and this one has corsets in it, so
Where's Marissa and Jed, by the way?
Oh, they might be not here. What happened to them?
Wait. Maybe there's a way we can find out.
Hey!
Guys, they really couldn't make it. They're really sad about it, but they did write a little message to us, and would it be okay if we read it to you? Would that be all right?
A little bit? Okay.
All right. This is, they sent it to us very helpfully in script form, so Felicia, you'll be playing the part of
Marissa Tantrum, yes.
and I will be playing the part of Jed Whedon, for which I worked out.
Yes. And they co-wrote Dr. Horrible, by the way, if somebody's just here for something else. Okay.
But I love The Walking Dead.
Love it. Great, lots of murder. Hello, friends, fans, and family.
What's up, San Diego? Very loudly. We are so sorry we cannot be here.
We love Dr. Horrible. It is the high point in our career.
And of course, we love all of you gestures to the audience.
We want nothing more than to be there with all of you beautiful people.
Very attractive.
But also beautiful on the inside.
Yes, insides are also attractive.
But unfortunately, we could not.
No, we work on a television show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hold for Applause. Yeah.
Oh.
Go. Yeah, see.
Joss? I don't.
Here we go.
Okay, a television show is a constantly moving train, and we had to stay on the lot to lay more track for that train.
Yes, a train and a TV show.
Joss is the executive producer on that show, and truthfully, he is like a slave driver.
Marissa.
What, Jed? My husband.
You can't say that, my wife, Marissa. They'll be reading this on stage with Joss. And he'll hear it.
Oh, you won't be paying attention. See?
How can you know that? We're writing this ahead of time. For all we know, he just gave us the thumbs up.
No way. He will be thinking about his new TV show, Home for Across the Nevers. And he'll be thinking about what private torture he'll put that writing staff through.
And wife.
What, my husband?
You did it again.
Shrugs an endearing way.
Isn't she adorable? Right, Joss?
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Maybe we... So true, Joss. So true. She is like a hilarious angel.
I am. You're too kind.
Anyway, sorry again that we couldn't be there. And then we didn't really figure out the sense part. Just have Nathan say something funny. Jesus.
Really? They made you do your own button?
I can't even... That's the wrap.
And thank you, guys.
Please, with your question.
So first of all, I want to say I love all of you and Felicia. Penny's great, but Charlie from Supernatural will always have a place in my heart.
She's pretty good. She is.
But my question is for Nathan. Did having the hero-villain dynamic with Neil Patrick Harris on a series of unfortunate events make you nostalgic for the same dynamic between Dr. Horrible and Captain Hammer?
It's strangely familiar. It's wonderfully comfortable. We both really enjoy pretending we hate each other. Yeah. And also hating each other. He's a great guy. I mean, if you say, boy, I wonder what it'd be like to hang out with Neil Patrick Harris, and then you have like a montage in your head about, you guys having a great day, and he maybe does a couple magic tricks for you, and he sings a second, and that's what it's like hanging out with Neil Patrick Harris. He's awesome. He's really cool and chill and amazing. Awesome.
And he walks like a tiger. He's like, it's almost like a model, like a little bit of that model. What is that movie, the Ben Stiller movie with the model? It's a little, but it's good Zoolander. It's high quality Zoolander mixed with tiger. That's, I don't know.
Thanks for that question.
Okay.
That was lovely. Thank you for it.
My question is for Nathan, and actually all of Paul H. What's a man gotta do?
What a man's gotta do. Excellent question. I remembered something.
I was at a convention in Poland, and there was a girl who was such a big Dr. Horrible fan, and she couldn't let go of the question of, can we sing My Eyes Together? And I tried, I was like, tap, 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 tap. I was like, I don't know if I really know the, and I have panic attacks when I sing in public, and she just started singing, and I was like, my eyes. And then I sweat a lot. Anyway, next question.
Oh,
baby.
I love your costume. Thank you for dressing up.
That's very nice. Aw, sweetie.
You can do it. What's your favorite Dr. Horrible song?
What? Nobody say.
So sing a Dr. Horrible song?
Yeah.
What is your favorite?
What's my favorite Dr. Horrible song? I started sweating a little bit there. Sorry. I mean, My Eyes is my favorite, and I remember when we were recording it, Joss and Jen and Marissa were like, oh, this is the first song we wrote. It's the one we don't like. The one we like the least. I'm like, are you kidding? This is my favorite. And it's cool that people made me feel right a little bit, because that's a popular one. Although there's amazing ones. I'm going to stop talking now.
No, that's I hate that song.
What? Really?
No, I hate Jed and Marissa because they can. I mean, he's produced albums in his, up in his study on his Mac that are gorgeous, and so they can, they sing harmonies. Because their life is a musical, or it was before they had a show and a child. But so their demos would sound like they had recorded them on Spotify. They were gorgeous, and I'm like, E chord. This chord is the thing. No, wait. And theirs is just like the strings come in halfway through. I'm like, fuck you guys. It just makes me really insecure. That was the first one they played, and I was just like, I would like to withdraw.
Bye, cutie.
Miss Widow.
Follow the adorable child. Yeah. Hello. I came up here to tell you guys that for the past 7 years, my friends get together every Cinco de Mayo, and we called it Whedon de Mayo. And we get together and we watch.
I met one of your friends last night.
Are you kidding? Was it Joey? That's really cool. So we're everywhere here. And my question is, if you could direct, play, all of you, any superhero villain that isn't already out there, what would you do?
A villain who's not already out there.
I like Dazzler because that outfit is so rad. Right? That outfit and the hair, it's good, but I like 80s rogue hair, that sort of like Melissa Etheridge hair. Yeah. Anyway.
There was a Spider-Man villain it was really dorky. He was called The Answer. And he was dangerous because he knew the answer to everything. And I just think that would be like really easy to play, like this really jerky know-it-all guy. It's like, oh God, here he starts again, guys. Who invited him to this secret meeting?
I will destroy you, Spider-Man. It's on aisle 4, actually. Okay. But first,
Is his catchphrase, actually?
Don't thank me. Thank the gravitational pull of the moon. That kind of stuff. I just think that would be the greatest guy.
it's always going to be Stiltman. I mean, Stiltman is the coolest. You've got to get Stiltman, Stan. His legs grow like stilts.
Hi. Oh, that might be right.
Oh, cool. Way cooler.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's going to be such a cool question. No, it's going to be okay.
Question is for Charlie and Kay. What are your favorite roles doing in your entire careers?
Charlie, you just called me your favorite role of mine, right? Is that just to be clear? Charlie?
Charlie and Kay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Cade.
I'm going with Charlie, I guess.
How did we do? I love you, man.
Dude.
I love you.
Oh, no, he's my favorite. Do you have a skateboard? I hope you do. Or a scooter?
Did you say skateboard or safe word?
My safe word is harder. I just realized something. No, I'm good. Okay. Sir.
This question's for Nathan. My favorite part of Castle is when you wore your captain's outfit on the show. Will your character in The Rookie be cool enough to wear a captain's hammer outfit?
One of the things we want to do with The Rookie is we want it to be dramatic, we want it to be a little bit funny, but it be based in reality. So that having been said, I hope we don't find a reason to have him dress up like a space cowboy. But I did do a little turn on a show called American Housewife, where I played me at a convention, and the characters happened upon me on the set of Serenity, set up for some photo ops. So I got to dress up like the captain, be on Serenity, and when I was done, I said to the guys, so what are you going to do with this spaceship? Just throw it away? They said, yeah. I said, how about this? Cut to the south wall of my garage is Serenity. Oh, man. I'm living the life I wanted when I was 8. Thanks, Joss. You too, buddy.
This is for Mr. Fillion.
Please call me Nathan or your lordship.
He's been waiting for that.
Also, never be funnier than me.
In Dr. Horrible's sing-along vlog, at the laundromat, when you were right next to Dr. Horrible, why did you guys have to tell what the actual hammer was and where it was?
That's an excellent question. What was your name?
Alex?
Alex, that's an excellent question.
Really?
In comedy, one shouldn't have to explain one's jokes. You should let them just stand on their own.
And also,
all right, I think we connected there.
We cut the insert shot. So.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I love that outfit. You're looking good.
Thank you. Would you ever, Nathan? Would you ever want to do a Halo fan film?
What are you proposing? What's the food going to be like? Will there be Korean gummies?
I want to do a Kirby fan film because I feel like that would be a really good Kirby.
I think that And tell me if I'm wrong, Josh, but could I pull like a sort of like a Robert Downey Jr. and say, oh my God, let's do this, and then make like I put on, and then it's somebody else, like for the rest of the movie, with my voice. Oh, good. Then yes. Yeah.
We bring you in for 2 days, and you sit and you go, look out! Over there! Help! Robert would actually do it in a massage chair. Not because he was getting a massage. It's not that bad. No, because we had to point the camera directly at him, and he had to look like he was in the suit, looking around and doing all this stuff.
Oh yeah, the inside.
It's actually really labor intensive.
Really?
Pretend you're in the suit. Yeah, it's kind of exhausting because you're going through a lot of lines, but also it's like, okay, it's over here, now it's slightly wider, okay, now you're reading this on your monitor, but you're reading that, like that's all of this.
Oh, okay, I'm out.
And then
Hi, I was wondering, so in my high school club, we screened Dr. Horrible this year after school, and my faculty advisor wanted to know what educational value it had. I didn't know, so I was hoping you could do it.
if Dr. Horrible has educational value, we have failed. Failed here today or 10 years ago.
I do admire the inquiry-based learning he's doing, you know, that rather than here's all the information, now here's a test, show me what you remember, it's here's the information I want, go get it, and that's what, he went right to the source.
But you know why? He claimed he's on an educational school trip, and he's at San Diego Comic-Con, just trying to get some extra credit.
It's like a school write-off.
Exactly.
Well done.
Hi. This question's for Felicia Day.
Yep, that's me.
I'm just wondering, how was acting as Penny in Dr. Horrible different from acting in The Guild, the web series?
That's a good question. I was terrified the whole time with Dr. Horrible, just in complete terror because I was intimidated by everybody around me, especially the large men. I just was like blown away by how good the guys were, and so I had just, I had been on a lot of TV shows, but not like them. They are seasoned professionals, and on The Guild, I had to be concerned about everything, like producing and writing and acting, and I never did my hair right. And also, I was responsible for craft service, hence the disaster of Korean desserts that I picked up from the Blackened Out Bakery, because I was just trying to be like, I know how to do this, feed you. Oh no, that didn't go well. So yeah, it was, and I learned so much working on this set, even though it was kind of like the speed of a web series, like just being in a scene with a guy like this and being directed by a guy like this, you can't help but grow. Love you guys.
How tall were you before?
I was 5'4", and I went up and out. I don't know what that meant.
I remember you saying, I know I'm not supposed to actually think Captain Hammer is cool, but then I was looking at Nathan, and we were singing, and
Yeah.
You went method.
Yeah. Hey.
Hello. Hi. What do you think that you remember most about being able to do your own special project? And also, did Dr. Horrible influence your other work going forward?
Start with Josh.
Okay. Dr. Horrible happened because of the writer's strike. I had actually, I had been trying to get some tech companies interested in financing a, very low budget series because I wanted to prove to the networks that we could get it done. And actually pitched a few series, the last of which was Dr. Horrible to Jeff Bezos. Because Amazon was looking at doing it. And they didn't like that idea. I was like, and I knew they wouldn't. But actually we sort of started working with them on something, and it just took forever, and I was like, this is never going to happen. All of these tech guys are just pretty skittish, they don't really know the deal, so I'm like, we'll just do it ourselves, I'll just pay for it. And, and then my brothers and my sister-in-law came to write it, and everybody signed on, and it was an extraordinary display of power and solidarity in the face of being really oppressed by these studios that wanted to just gut us. And but the strike ended before we shot it, so it was a grand show of strength that was too late and useless and very hard to film because everybody had jobs. But that's the thing I remember, and a little bit of it's on the commentary musical, but is that it mattered. It mattered to us because we wanted to make a statement about what we were able to do, and we wanted people to notice. And one day we'll find out if anybody noticed. And and it mattered that we put it out for free. It mattered that we put it out in a sequence and didn't just drop it all at once. And figuring out how to do that was extremely difficult. Nobody knew what was what. There was literally one person who knew how the internet worked, and it was Felicia. Honestly, yeah. No, because the Guild was a huge inspiration for me. And then also she would explain to me how it works, the internet. And I did not understand a fucking word she said. I mean, I took her to out for coffee twice, and both times I was just like, what?
Remember I did a panel and I was tweeting under the table 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knew what Twitter was, so they thought I was doing something else. It was really funny. Children. Anyway. I love Dr. Horrible. To me, I did do web series and I didn't know what I was doing. I just loved the internet and I released my stuff, and the fact that somebody who didn't need to financially or reputation-wise do something for fun and get your friends together and make something was a huge inspiration to me. And it was a huge boost to a world that was very new. 10 years ago, people didn't know what Twitter was. They barely watched YouTube videos, and there were only prank videos. And you gave life to so many creators because me on the grassroots would never have had the reputation and power to reach so many more people and show them that digital could be a thing and allow stories to get told that would never be told if they asked the suits behind the conference room table if they could get permission to make it. And that's what I took away from it, and that's why I stayed making digital content for a long time. And sadly or happily, I think still Dr. Horrible sets a bar that has not been surpassed by digital content in making something for the platform. And it also taught me that your most fulfilling thing is to get your voice out and tell the stories you really need to tell, regardless of how you get them out there. And so you don't just take any job and you don't change everything just to please other people all the time. You still, if you have something special, you need to say it to the world. And if only one person consumes it, it can change their life, and that's enough. And that's what I always take away from that experience. Follow it. Get in there. Pretty man.
Ditto.
Thank you, Nathan.
That's absolutely true. When Josh presented this plan, much like he said, and I said, in my head, I said, we can do that? That can be done? And then the hurdles we faced filming. I remember one time we lost the light. The sun went down. We were using flashlights to light Neil as we're running on the sidewalk for one of the shots. Got it. Let's go. I just thought, oh my God. Anytime now after that, I hear it can't be done. I go, really? Can't? And that's I learned a lot from that, and it can be done. I like that.
It can. It should. I mean, don't get me wrong. We were like, this is a political statement. This is important for people. At one point, Jed, because we timed it out to come out about a month before July, and Jed was like, we've got to stick to this. And I'm like, yeah, it's very important. He's like, we're only doing that so we can be rock stars at Comic-Con, right? I'm like, oh yeah. Let's be realistic. But it did actually matter to us. And when we were receiving our Emmy for Dr. Horrible, the only Emmy that I have, the made-up Emmy, the Emmy we won for longest name of a category. I don't know I literally don't know what the Emmy was for,
But they invented the category.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Horrible.
Media thing, and we were up against a concert or something.
Yeah. And now it's a staple. Now
It's a name, yeah.
It's a category.
Well, that's cool. But we were thinking. I said something there that I think has come back to me a lot in certainly in the last couple of years, is simply that because it is so silly and lacking in educational value, and yet it is also, there are things in there that I really wanted to be saying about people, and the fact of making it in the face of the strike and everything, to celebrate workers and celebrate writers and all of those things. I do remember saying, and I think it's something that I hold on to a lot now, the greatest expression of rebellion is joy. And I think that's something we are going to need for a while longer.
Hi, next question. I love your shirt.
Thank you. I wore it just for you.
Thank you. That's my shirt that I did a fundraiser a couple weeks ago, and we raised $220,000 for Rice's. Thank you. You guys helped out. You came by. You cleared out your garage for me and gave away a lot of stuff, and we donated to Rice's, which is an organization to help immigrant children be reunited with their families at the border. So thank you. Thank you for that.
So my question is, as part of this rebellion on why Dr. Horrible was made, how did you decide who to assemble, and why did each of you choose to participate?
I was like, I'll ask the most talented people I know, and I was so terrified to ask. I was just like, it's okay, they said yes before I could get the question out, because it was taking me 20 minutes to get the question out, but you can say why.
Well, you go. Sure.
Two things terrify me: singing in public and Shakespeare. But I also have a rule. If Josh calls and says, hey, I want you to do, I say yes. So when he calls and says, let's do a musical, I go, oh, yes. He calls in and says, hey, we're going to do some Shakespeare. I say, great. Can't wait.
I got an email from Joss, can you sing Jay? And I was like, but when you get an email from Joss, you say, yes, and you figure it out later. And I remember there was a read-through at your house. And for the first time in my whole life, I got such an infected tonsil that it was like twice as big as the other tonsil. And there was just like, it was rot inside of my mouth. And I went up to him, I was like, hey, this is a true story. This is how, I roll. I go up to Joss in his house. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry, but I have a really pussy tonsil. You want to see it? I want to prove it to you because I can't sing that well. And I opened my mouth and got in his face. And the look, the look of repulsion on your face. I can't believe I still got the job. That's how you do it.
Whereas Felicia's like, I don't know if I can sing. I only studied opera for a couple of years, and she's like, she's overqualified for everything.
And underqualified in confidence. Yes. Thanks for the question.
Hi guys, thanks for being who you are, and thanks to my wife for introducing me to Whedonverse peripherally. She's that huge Buffy fan to her core. All of you who are involved in it, thank you for being here over there. I was a huge fan of Dollhouse, which I felt really left a lot on the table. What do each of you feel like you could have put more into or expanded on in your careers most?
Oh, in general or about Dollhouse?
Dollhouse was great. I love that.
I was like,
but
you really should have done more for Dollhouse there, Nathan. You really whiffed it. You whiffed it.
But behind the scenes, I did even less. Tell me if you guys do this, but when you look back, the farther away you get from the work, the better you think you are than when you did that. Like, ooh, I do that differently now. Ooh, that didn't translate. Like, I try not to watch with too critical and otherwise I won't enjoy it and I'll have a connection and have nightmares that night. I suck! Like that, but
I mean, I guess I feel like it's really important to enjoy the process of anything, and I think I just realized that like last year. And I'm 24, so but I really feel like in my past, the only thing I regret, like I feel like I always give it my all, but the only thing I regret is that I just accepted the moment to moment of everything more, because you never know when successes or failures will pass and you get past it and you feel like in the moment it's all oppressive, but if you really take those moments to be like, I'm going to take all the joy I can right now and not worry about tomorrow or worry about the past, that's when you're the happiest. So like, yes, it's a lot of hard work to make something, but if you're in it, just enjoy the process and don't worry about the external afterwards. I guess that's my biggest regret in anything. So
I wanted to make more Firefly.
Yes. Next question.
Yeah. Glad you brought up Firefly because this question goes back to it. Nathan, back on Firefly, there was a running feud between you and Jewel where you would be giving each other the middle finger. So is that feud going on? And Felicia and Josh, how many times during Dr. Horrible have you felt like giving Nathan the middle finger?
At some point, I just taped it up. Got a split.
That was one of there's a lot of sit and wait time where it's we need you here. You can't actually go back and get something done. You can't leave and do something productive outside of work. You have to stay there. You have to be available. And sometimes it's long hours, and we would entertain each other. And that was one of the ways I would entertain. What are you doing right now? That's one of the ways I would entertain Jewel, and that's one of the ways that's just one of the ways Jewel and I say, hey, I miss you, how you doing? I think you're great. If you like eating horse shit. That's one of the other ways I would tease them. Pay them a very sincere compliment, and then wrap it up with, if you like eating horse shit.
I remember you do that this summer after a take.
That's true.
Next question.
Ooh.
What? Oh, stop.
There's a little sign that says,
Please stop.
There's one that says,
Oh, I thought we were supposed to be looking here.
There's
Please
a sign
stop.
that says stop.
Okay.
Next to it is a sign that says, please stop.
Okay.
Guys, this is amazing.
Oh, dear God. Let's take this one question.
Yeah.
This guy came up and then for us. Sorry, we talk and talk.
I wanted to say, when you walked on stage, I thought, is that Nathan Drake? Like, I thought it was like literally, it looks amazing. I love your haircut.
Thank you.
Speaking of that, you and Norland North kind of switched places, and like, he's now playing Cade, and you are now playing Nathan Drake, and I thought that was pretty cool. My question was, since you're not in the Forsaken DLC for Destiny, are you still interested in doing like future work with Bungie for voice acting?
Yes, my pitch is a prequel for Cade. I want to do like Cade's 1 through 5. Right? I love it. 5 more games, guys. Listen, I think the worst thing in the world would be to pour our hearts and souls into something and create something and then have people forget about it. Here we are 10 years later, and we're all still celebrating this little internet piece of magic. So thank you very much for being here. It means a lot.
Thank you guys. We'll create some new stuff. Thank you for this. I can't not say this. Vote.